Hi, welcome to today's podcast from South Downs Leisure. I want to rename it the MenoPod because today's topic is all going to be about the menopause. And I'm going to use the term menopause to cover all parts of perimenopause, menopause and postmenopause, because I just think it gets complicated using all the terminology. So my name's Jo, and I'm a fitness instructor here at South Downs Leisure and the exercise referral consultant and one of the menopause champions. And with me today, I have my lovely colleague, Helen.
Hi, I'm Helen. I'm the operations manager at Worthing Leisure Centre and also a menopause champion.
So we've been tasked with having a little chat about menopause. We've got one challenge today. You don't look so scared, but the challenge is to not embarrass our lovely cameraman Ben and make him run out of the room with his hands over his ears going, I never want to hear that. Yeah. So we're up for that?
Well, I feel
it's going to be challenging.
I feel working in an office with Ben, we've passed that point now.
Well, me and you, we chat a lot and we've chatted about a lot of different stuff. We have also chatted about menopause quite a bit. We're both women of a certain age. Born in 68. You were born in 68 as well. So, But our experience with menopause, we've got similarities. We've got different challenges and things. But, so this is a topic we're comfortable with when we're not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So the challenge is now to forget that the cameras
are there and chat as if we were having coffee.
In the main. Yeah. So I thought, let's start with the negatives. Let's get them out of the way. I don't like talking about negatives around menopause because I think, it's just, we're stuck with it. We can't change it. So, I don't like to dwell too much, but at the same time, I don't think you can talk about menopause and pretend it's the happiest days of your life and it's all fantastic. Are there any challenges for you that you're sort of willing to share? Anything that you're sort of thinking of?
I feel quite lucky and quite grateful because I can remember my mum's menopause.
Right, yeah.
And I think she was very quiet, underhanded. She couldn't speak about it. It probably wasn't till I was older that I realised that what she was going through. I just thought she was just having a really tough time. The sweats, the achy bones. I'm on the negatives now, aren't I?
Yeah, but
she was, and so I feel as it's more out there and we can talk about it now and have a laugh about it. I mean, we've had meetings with the menopause champions where there've been 6 or 7 women sitting around the table, not even talking anything remotely, with stats and company policies and all that sort of stuff. And it's just, we've been told to be quiet with the locked door because of the laughs about it all. And everybody can relate now. Yeah. So I sort of refer back to my mum and that she never had that. I mean, I don't think women had that. No. So that's a positive. Obviously the negatives are part of getting older and how our bodies are changing. But it's certainly accepting that. And I think women of, the sort of 45 to 55 demographic, they're more open to that now. Yeah. And you're right, it is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's how you face those challenges when they come. Yeah. Going to the doctor now, that's been promoted. People shouldn't suffer in silence. Yeah. More people than all women are just like, I've reached that point. I'm going to the doctors. I'm gonna get this sorted. Most people, but there are still people that don't want to talk about it. There are people that maybe don't associate those symptoms and think they're. I think Davina in her program, which to me opened up a huge conversation. Yeah. Well done, Davina.
Yes.
There were women on there that thought, they had suicidal thoughts. Yeah. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what this was and how it was going to affect them. And so there are people that aren't as well educated about that and suffer in silence. And that's heartbreaking in 2023.
Totally. I mean, I've bumped into a friend up at Lancing Manor Leisure Centre the other week, and she is just ploughing on through, and then she's got this far, so she's going to keep going. And I felt so sorry for her because, I'm grateful, like you are, that I can take HRT, and it has changed my world. I wasn't suffering significantly with symptoms until last year, and then started to get a few hot sweats, which I actually quite liked. Oh, yes, there's warm glow about me. But it's quite nice. But for me, it was my job. It was impacting on that. I was getting on the stage to teach pump, and my joints ached and hurt, and yoga, my wrists and everything. And that's what took me to the doctors and said, please give me HRT. But I think I made that connection. But for a lot of people, if they aren't having the flushes, the hot and the night sweats, they just think it's part of growing old.
Yeah.
The NHS have published 34 symptoms of the menopause. But if you Google things and go on YouTube and all the rest of it, there's potentially 100 symptoms of menopause. So the hot flushes and the mood swings are only part of the story. And I know personally for me, I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel. The minute I took HRT, that sorted it out.
Yeah.
And that information didn't come from my doctor. It came from a friend. And when I said about the carpal tunnel, that's probably hormone related. It's probably menopause related. And once the HRT kicked in, I could get rid of my wrist splints and life was good again. So,
but again, going back, the education or the it was like a fear of HRT because it would do this
totally.
Again. Big up Davina.
Yeah.
But so it was, it could cause like ovarian cancer, breast cancer, all that. And so, people, I think women were scared to go down that route. Whereas I think now it's, from whether it's in the House of Commons or whether it's in the workplace or TV programs, podcasts, whatever. I think people now are like, you're right, I'm not going to suffer.
Yeah.
I'm going to, look, hell, this is that bad. I'm going to take that risk.
Totally.
I'm just going to...
My first conversation with a female GP was that she wouldn't prescribe HRT to me unless I was suffering from hot flushes, night sweats.
Yeah.
Before Davina started shouting about it. But I think there is a lag in terms of who knows what about the menopause. I think there is a big gap, and I'm hoping now we are all shouting about it a bit more, that more is going to be done. Like I say, you go on the internet, you'll find 100 symptoms. And I think the medical professionals will explore that more and come up with more evidence around that. And, I look forward to that because menopause is a very individual journey.
Yeah.
We're all unique, and the way our bodies respond to this drop in hormones is everyone is different.
Yeah, as our pregnancy. So that's another cycle of a woman's life.
Yeah.
Not for everybody, obviously, but if you are, having children, that pregnancy, every pregnancy is different. We know this. Yet we're still maybe not as educated in our bodies for menopause.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that sort of change. And so the negatives that we've talked about, your mum experienced, that I potentially experienced, for me, are counterbalanced by the positives in the sense of the community. Suddenly, I feel like I belong to a club of women of a certain age. And I love that. And I love the fact we're talking about it. We're having a laugh about it. It just...
Who would have thought that, though, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
And I think as well, like when you watch, as I say, going back to like the fact that is now there are bills in the House of Parliament and everything else, and now men are talking about it, politicians are talking about it, not with their eyes rolled around the head like, oh God, it's like, women's hormones. And
Do you remember
it's
when
been taken a lot more seriously. And I think that allows us to have a laugh now because it's not, we're not going to be looked upon as just crazy where... In fact, possibly we are. But, it's an excuse to be crazy.
Yeah.
Why not?
Run with it. I blame it on everything.
Yeah. And so we all should.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. But the days of when we used to refer to it as the change.
Yeah.
Women of a certain age, all of that. And it was hush, hush. No, I'm glad that's gone. Appreciate for some women, like we talked about previously, they're still quite private and want to keep it to themselves. And I think what we're planning to do with deal here is we're launching MenoFit, which is a program designed for menopausal women at all stages. And it's a mixture of online offerings. So you're going to be able to download videos off the phone of yours truly doing some rather embarrassing exercise sessions. Who knew walking backwards and forward was so challenging? It was a new skill I've had to learn.
Wow.
I found, but yeah. But online classes, 15 minutes that people can do at home. Online education to just inform people around nutrition, supplements, sleep, dehydration. We're covering lots of different things that can help people. But as well as that, we're also offering Facebook groups and an in-live MenoMeet session. So everything's about Meno these days.
I love it.
Where I'm sort of hoping it's going to be coffee and cake and a big laugh.
Yeah.
And a big moan.
Yeah.
If we need to get stuff off our chest. And it's there for people who are happy to come and chat, but also if people want to come and just listen and take it in
and resonate.
Yeah.
So whether they provide content or attend a live or whatever, they're gonna resonate with that.
Yeah.
And maybe the penny will drop a little bit about the laugh, the fun element of it, because it's not all fun, but you can have a laugh about it when you know that other women are experiencing the same and having the silly, for me, it was like dropping things. I couldn't hold a pedal. I'm clumsy anyway, but it was just, that was intensified. And silly goose and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't realise that was, that's got better. So I absolutely know that was a symptom at the time. Yeah. I don't sleep. I know that's a symptom. Yeah. Drives me even more crazy. So that's sort of my jokey. Yeah. I feel I'm coming out of it a little bit because I don't, the sweats and have eased off. I know that's only one, but so a lot of the other ailments that I had are easing off a little bit and better through HRT. Yeah. But even so, there's still some now, and I feel I'm in a good place with it now. Put it that way.
I can't express enough how much I love what we do as a group of women, that support we bring each other through laughter, or not even, when you just want to moan and get something off your chest, and because it's not all laugh about things. It isn't. There's some real negative experiences out there, but when it's shared, problem shared is problem halved. Yeah. That really feels true, and that's what women do very well. Chaps tend to take themselves off to their man cave, but us as women, that is how we deal with our problems. We always have, and I look forward to taking this forwards and providing that sort of environment that we can do that again, because the community thing and the learning, and that's when someone says, "Oh, that me too," that feeling of it's not just me. Yeah. You mentioned the dropping. I'm like, maybe.
Didn't notice that one, but I'll slip that in. Yeah.
But, and there's so many of these things we can be doing, big enough. And so I do look forward to, that occurring.
Well, I think every female within South Downs Leisure is of an age.
Yes.
Are going to be all over that. So we know. So that if that should, and that's just one organisation in one little part of Sussex, in one little part of the country and the world. So every step is. When I was approached to be a menopause champion, and it was just like, okay, picture on a poster. Yeah. What the hell? There's no hiding that then.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But at that time, that's sort of a year ago now, is it? I'm going to say it was a year ago. Yeah. And at that time, it was, apart from a few office bants, it wasn't huge within the company, the country, whatever. And now it's, here we are sitting talking about it so openly. Yeah. You're starting a class and, lots of people are coming up to us and just openly talk. I had somebody burst in the office and just were like, "Oh my God, I must be starting the menopause, this, that, and whatever." And we, and it's just like giving them that. I'm like that. Just yeah. Do you want me to tell you like what else is gonna? Yeah. So it's,
I think
it's the openness. So
I put the fear of God into some of the younger members of staff, and they sit there listing sort of different ailments they have, and I'm ticking off my menopause checklist, and I go, "Have you thought about possibly?"
But you know what, as well, and I think as well, the young girls, if you like, their parents are probably, because we're of that age where we have the similar age in the workforce, they're probably, at least they'll have a little bit more understanding with mum at home as well, and whether they've got a channel to open up and talk like we are. And let's say, I'll go back to my experience. I didn't know, I couldn't help, I just thought, what's up with her? And, so that, again, at least we're doing something.
Totally.
So it's a generational thing.
I mean, I have had advice and support from young women in their 20s through to women in their 70s. Literally this week, and someone was telling me, it'll be all right. Talking about her experience at work. And because that's scary stats. They reckon between 10 and 20% of women give up work due to the menopause, which is really quite scary. I'm not ready to go and work in a supermarket and just check out. So, and I'm very lucky because I do have moments where I'm on stage and I'm like, the choreography, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I fear that. But my classes generally, they know me, they support me, and we just have a laugh about it. Someone in the class will probably know it or remind me which leg I haven't used and which leg I need to use.
I'm quite happy if I forget something within my job role or I mess something up. I'm quite happy to be like, oh, what am I like? Yeah. But because it is a thing. And I feel at one point I was putting a bit of pressure on myself to be all and everything, and now I'm quite, we're all human anyway. So let's blame it on the menopause, or let's not, like, I'm falling behind, I'm not good enough for my job, and that must be horrible for somebody that's going through that,
feeling that way.
I'm not good enough, when actually you are, because that's the position that you got to, you worked hard for, and invariably a lot of people have had a family and then still a successful woman. And when I mean a successful woman, I mean a successful woman that's happy in her work and is excelling and growing, because everybody needs to grow.
I've talked about this on one of the sessions that we'll be delivering as part of MenoFit, but I do think we don't give ourselves enough credit as women for all that we do. We're looking after families. We're potentially looking after parents as well at this stage, holding down a job, looking after the home, and all of those thoughts and decisions and processes that we have to do every single day. We don't wake up and go, oh, what am I just going to do today? Very rarely. It's more about who have I got to get where, what kids have I got to take where, what roads are closed, so if I
forget a kid, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't be all and everything.
You can't be. But the pressure, but we don't give ourselves credit for that.
No.
We don't go, you know what, I'm doing all right. Maybe I did forget a child yesterday, but look at everything I did remember.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, to take credit for what we are achieving in our busy lives, and blame what we can on the menopause to get away with it, and not feel guilt for.
I like that you're doing with the MenoFit. I like that you're doing something that you can interact with or not.
Yeah,
I like that. That's good.
Well, I hope people engage with it. I hope it's a fun, safe place for people to come. I know, and this is sort of building on from the sort of weight loss groups we've run, where we've invariably ended up talking about the menopause because we blame it on everything. So I'm hoping we've had lots of banter and laughs with that. So that's what I'm hoping that we're going to sort of keep taking it forward with. Just need to speak to the cafe about treat drinks and cakes. I think that's the
part of the remit.
Cake's wrong?
No, it's actually like a standard requirement, I would say.
I think it is with that. So I'm hoping for those people who are feeling a little bit less brave about going, hey, I'm here, and haven't got the menopause sweatshirt, I'm hoping it's going to be a safe environment for them. I hope they know when they come to South Downs Leisure, any of our sites, that they're surrounded by lots of other women in the same place as they are, who might not be shouting about it, but who are maybe experiencing the sweats and the flushes and the aches and pains. And I know I get a lot from our members who chat and talk about it, and just know, so nearly 2/3 of our members are female, and a large chunk of them are going to be over 40. So chances are, I have said this before, I said this on Menopause Day, you could be stood next to someone who's going through the menopause. He could be, your instructor could be going through the menopause. So it's a safe place to come and know that there's other women who are going to be empathetic to all the challenges, frustrations, positive aspects.
And cake.
And cake. Yeah. So thank you for that, Helen.
Thank you, Jo.
We kept it clean.
We kept it clean, and for the next 4 or 5 days, we'll continue without a microphone and a camera.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.